Week 24, day 3, and we're discussing loyalty. We're developing the quality of loyalty. And at the heart of loyalty, without the sacrifice of self, there's no such thing as loyalty. If you're not willing to sacrifice self, then there's no such thing as loyalty. The story today is about the Green Bay Packers and Bill Curry. And some of this is kind of outdated because I'm 70 years old. If you're a 16-year-old athlete out there listening to this, you probably don't remember the Green Bay Packers or Bill Curry unless you're a student of history, of football history. But when I was 16 years old, the greatest team in the world was the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they won it every year. The greatest coach was Vince Lombardi. The greatest team was the Green Bay Packers. Bill Curry was the center on that great Green Bay Packer football team. Now here's the story that Bill Packer talks about, and when he was asked what made that such a great football team, what was it? What was the single instance, or what was the single factor that made you the greatest football team in the NFL, and at that time in the world, at that time in history? And this is Curry's answer. And I read it, you can read it on page 134, developingcharacter.org, page 134. When it's the fourth quarter, when it's 95 degrees, 90% humidity, and your legs feel like anvils, the right one won't go in front of the left, you're behind by 4 points with 35 yards to go, and you know you got to score. The main thing that makes me come back up to the ball is the fact that the guys next to me feel the same way I do. And I know, because I've seen them do it time and again, that they're going to come off the ball a little bit harder than they did the time before. Somehow, with this reserve of strength or courage or moral fiber or commitment to each other or love or concern or whatever you want to call it, which means I've got to do it if I want to be a part of this. So I'll come back off the ball, and I'll hit the guy in front of me in his numbers with all my might again and again, so that I can go back in the locker room after having gained those last 35 yards and won the game, and walk back in there with my arm around my teammate, and we know that we did that together. We gave it a little more than we really had. Now, that may sound real phony, but I promise you it's the reason we play. It's the reason they won. Question 1 says, Bill Curry had loyalty to what? Bill Curry had loyalty to the Green Bay Packers. He was willing to sacrifice self. His legs hurt. And if you've ever been in athletics, and I think athletics is the greatest teacher, can be the greatest teacher of loyalty of anything. I've had my legs hurt so bad, my rear end hurt. I didn't think I could take one more step. And the things that go through your mind, went through my mind, I don't know about you, I think if I laid down, I could act like I was hurt. Yeah. Then nobody would be mad at me for laying down. They'd say, well, if he hadn't gotten hurt. And then you'd say, but the guy next to me is not going to lay down. And you look in that huddle and you see that guy, that quarterback or that running back or that other guy that's got the bruise. Maybe he's got some stitches in his chin where you let a guy get through and sack him. And he's still in there. He's still fighting. And you think, you know what, if I'm going to be a part of this, I got to do it too. That's what loyalty is. And that's why when we did what we call the boot camp Mavmaker, Stinger, Eagle, the Wings, the Rabbit's Foot, whatever it was, wherever we were at, Hoka Hay at Idabel, the most important part of it was helping one another. It was don't ever bend over. But if you bend over, you're only looking at one person. You're looking at yourself. And what did I want taught more in the Maverick Maker or the boot camp or whatever we called it? Loyalty. When you think you're going to die, reach out and grab somebody and help them. And if you worry more about the guy next to you, you quit worrying about yourself. And you know what that develops? It develops loyalty. When you worry about your wife in the marriage and not yourself. When you worry about your children and not yourself. You got to die to yourself. And if it hurts, you got to keep going. That's what loyalty is. Bill Curry's loyalty was to the Green Bay Packers and what they had gone through and what they meant. He didn't leave anybody out in the field. He got out of the trenches and went and got them. Question 2, what would Bill Curry have done if he only worried about himself? What would he have done? He'd have said, I'm tired. It's time for me to quit. Young people, people with a low mental age, have no loyalty. Zero. The minute they get tired, they quit. If a 6-year-old gets tired, he has loyalty to no one but himself, and he quits. Loyalty, it's the key. It's what makes us great because we're loyal to something greater than ourselves. Be loyal. Make it a loyal day. See you tomorrow.